His MVP. That's one. Right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb into first. Drive. It's tied. Seager smashes the ball down the line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field. Way back there. Gone again. Corey Seager does it again. It's Texas Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you in the bottom of the 8th inning. Good guys ahead, 3-2. Hobie Milner on the bump, going for his second inning of work here, facing Brian Reynolds. We're going to close out the game with y'all. It's unfortunate we have to play a lot of close games with really bad teams, but you know what? We are going to take it however we can get it at this point. Want to welcome in everybody. Sure, we'll get a few more people going as the live gets started. But first, here at Right on Rangers, we cover everything sports. We put a big emphasis on all the teams we love from the great state of Texas, including the Rangers and especially the Rangers during MLB season. Thank you so much for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. Drop a comment, drop a question. During the game itself, we will be checking here and there, but once the post game hits, be able to track those comments and everything going on in the chat a lot better. So bear with me. Feel free to copy and paste and hit that send button a couple of times if I missed your comment the first time around. All right. Hey, let's go ahead and let's get right into it here. Hobie Milner in a 2-2 count with Brian Reynolds right now. Reynolds is going to sky one to center field. Evan Carter's under it, and he makes the play. One down, always huge to get that first out in an inning. Hobie, of course, in the 7th inning, was able to go 1, 2, 3. Well, I guess he came in with the runners on first and second, I believe. Had to clean up a little bit of a mess from Armstrong, but did not allow a hit or a walk in the 7th inning. Now he's back out for the 8th. Sure would be nice to get this thing to the 9th, man. Showing Bruce Bochy looking on. High and inside to Horwitz. Horwitz, a lefty for Pittsburgh. 0 for 1 on the day. Horwitz does have a couple of walks, however. Struck out in the one official at bat that he had today. Who is the Rangers all-star? I mean, they're going to have some all-star pitchers. DeGrom is going to be an all-star. I think that you could make an argument maybe for Josh Smith, but I don't know if they're going to have a clear-cut all-star on the offensive side. DeGrom is definitely going to be the representative if they don't have anybody else, but I'm not sure if they're going to have a hitter make it. I don't think that is a slam dunk. Milner has Horwitz in a 2-strike count. It's going to be 2-2 here. Again, one down. Rangers up 3-2, clinging on to this lead, man. Clinging on to it. Shoot. Hey, appreciate the love, man. Thank you so much. Man, what a kind comment. You guys are just too nice sometimes. Hope you caught the sarcasm. We keep going, man. Here we go. Strike 2 again. We're going to do it one more time. Another foul ball from Horwitz. Horwitz, by the way, hitting 228 on the year, 621 OPS. See if Hobie can get him down here on strikes. He sets and fires. Another foul ball. We're just going to keep doing this. Hey, Jordan, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Well, you know what happened? Honestly, I wouldn't have even done the Bombi reel today, but I get so many people clapping back at me whenever El Bombi does well. And I just think people are misguided. Like, I want to see the guy do well. I'm not an El Bombi hater. I love the guy. I just think at this point, you're trying to do what's best for the club. And I think there is a really strong argument. I know that I've been on the track of El Bombi, trade him at the deadline. I think that's only if you're doing poorly, right? If the Rangers are doing well and they are solidly in a playoff spot, I don't think you trade El Bombi at all. I do think in the offseason, you've got to strongly consider it. The worst case scenario here, and let me just speak a little bit on this, as Hobie Milner has 2 outs now, 0-1 count to Gonzalez. The last thing that you want to happen is you hold on to Adolis. He goes totally cold in a contract year, which can happen, right? Guys go totally cold in contract years all the time. Sometimes they have a killer contract year. I mean, that is absolute best cases. You hold on to Dolly. You don't trade him in the offseason. He has an incredible 2026. And then maybe you do consider trading him at the deadline. Hobie Milner, high cheddar, and he's sitting down. The Pirates in order, man. Hobie Milner, that might be another all-star. Hobie Milner, I think, might make it to the all-star game this year as well with how incredible he's pitched for Texas. Hobie sporting a 2.15 ERA, man. Like I said, though, going back to El Bombi, I just don't think you can take the risk. I think you can ride it out with him this season if you're going to compete for a championship, but I think you've got to trade him in the offseason if you're not going to trade him at this deadline. Yeah, the point of his age, 100%. But I think when you look at Goldschmidt, he went on to another team. I think, Jordan, if anything, that kind of solidifies my point. The Cardinals were not willing to give Paul Goldschmidt a deal, or at least the deal that he wanted. I think you're actually bringing up a perfect parallel, right? The Cardinals, they had Goldschmidt for an extended period of time. I think they had him for 3 or 4 years. I mean, we've had Bombi for a little bit longer, but I think it's almost a perfect parallel. The Cardinals did not want to give him another contract at age 34, 35. And you know what? He goes on to New York, and it's not like he's having an MVP season. But I know he had a pretty nice start, and right now he's hitting 298 with 8 homers and 32 RBI. I mean, very, very respectable. So I think your point of you can be 34 or 35 and still contribute in this league, definitely. But I think you have to understand it's a little bit of a different situation, Jordan, than Bombi and Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt's got the big contract, right? Goldie got his big contract. Adolis has never gotten that big payday. And I just cannot see Adolis taking any kind of hometown discount to stay in Texas. And knowing the Rangers, right? We all know the Rangers front office and where they're at right now with spending money. Y'all really think the Rangers are going to go spend a bag on Adolis Garcia when the rookie contract is up? I would say absolutely not. The Rangers aren't going to give Adolis Garcia $15, $20 million a year. Dolly is looking to get that one final payday. He's never gone to free agency. So again, kind of another reason why I would say the Goldschmidt comp really not quite working for me. Goldie got his big payday. Dolly hasn't got that yet. And rightfully so, I think he is going to pursue it. I don't think he's going to be looking for a little one-year deal. And if you think that nobody's interested in Adolis Garcia, I think you're crazy. I think there's a lot of teams that would be interested in Dolly. He's going to have suitors if he goes to free agency. The only way he's not is if he just totally falls off the face of the earth in 2026. Otherwise, I think a lot of teams are going to be interested in him. By the way, Corey Seager in a 3-0 count right now. Top of the 9th, Rangers up 3-2. Corey's going to take ball 4. He has had a great game today. He's first of all, every time he's made contact, he's hit the ball over 100 miles an hour. I know he's only 1 for 3. That RBI single was at 110 off the bat, and every other out he had was over 100 off the bat as well. One of the unluckiest hitters in the game, I swear, man. Corey Seager, always hitting the ball hard. Marcus Semien going to take strike 1 at the bottom of the zone. Rangers sure would be nice to get an insurance run. Sure would be nice. I don't know, big time Texan, if they're going to be able to trade Semien. Semien is a tougher situation because of the contract. I just don't think there's going to be a lot of teams really interested in taking on Marcus. And I think right now, if Marcus is able to do what he's doing right now, you'll take him at second base. I don't think they're going to be able to get out of that Semien contract. We're going to see ball 2 here. 2-1 count to Marcus coming up. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. John, what's good, man? What's good? Milner is nails again. Yes, sir. Like I said, I think Hobie has got an all-star case. I think he's got an all-star case. 3-1 now to Semien. He takes a nice pitch outside. Yeah, John, you and I have been big Hobie Milner fans all year long. By the way, I know some of y'all can't see all the comments on YouTube. John, longtime listener, longtime supporter of the show, man. Appreciate you a lot. Yeah, he and I have been in step. Hobie Milner, really from the beginning of the year, liked what I saw out of Hobie, and he has done both of us well, done both of us proud, backing it up on the field with the 2.15 ERA. And I still say his ERA should be lower. He's kind of gotten a couple of tough breaks on official scorings, probably some unearned runs that he's gotten charged with. Don't want to get into the minutia of that right now, but I think he should probably have a sub-2 ERA if the official scores were doing their jobs right. Anyways, don't want to get on that soapbox. Marcus takes a walk here. This is just what the doctor ordered. You got first and second with nobody out. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Am I right? Adolis Garcia up to bat, though, so you do like to see Dolly up in this spot. One of your hottest hitters. 0 for 3 on the day today. Sure would be nice for him to break through with his first knock of the day. Dolly now up to 234, 9 homers, 37 RBI. Again, you got Corey Seager and you got Marcus Semien on the bases. You'd think with Siegs on second base right now, you're probably going to need something in the gap. Probably something that at least makes the outfielders go left and right. Anything right at an outfielder, I'm not sure they're sending Corey Seager. What's our rotation looking like? The way Kumar's pitching right now when Bradford and John Gray get back. Look, I think I said it in the last Rocker start. By the way, Pirates are going to make a pitching change here. And they are going to go to, let's see, who's coming in the ball game. Yeah, I don't know who it is. Don't know. Don't know the Pirates bullpen well enough, y'all. I'm sorry. I'll get you the name in a second. But pitching change here. I actually think the plan with Kumar was always to have him be in AAA most of this year. And I would say today, obviously a great outing. I don't want to take anything away from Kumar Rocker today. He did have some command issues. I think he definitely can limit the walks a little bit better. But you go 5 1/3, 2 earned runs, you nearly had a quality start. Quality start, 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs or less. Rock nearly had a quality start, man. So I can't hate on the performance at all today. Had 4 strikeouts as well. But I just think the plan with him was always be in AAA this year. And then maybe in 2026, you really give him a shot to compete. But I think just as things progressed, you really felt like this was a year Rock needed to reestablish himself down in AAA after some of the injuries. I think that they will be happy to roll with Bradford and John Gray when they get back. I don't think that today was the type of outing where you say to yourself, we just got to keep this guy in the rotation. Y'all push back. I mean, push back on me, but I just feel like Rock is going to need to do a lot more than what he did today to keep John Gray and Cody Bradford from taking his spot. I mean, the command has to be impeccable. He's going to have to, having, I'm not going to say DeGrom-like numbers, but he's going to have to be a tick behind DeGrom. I think he's going to have to be that good to stay in the rotation when John Gray, when Cody Bradford come back. Keep going. Let's see. We're working our way back to 500, JR, if you're still hanging out, man. Dolly taking ball 1, by the way. Back to Adolis Garcia's AB here. What has happened with Young? He's playing hurt. Can't see the broadside of a barn right now. John with the comment on YouTube. Yeah, Josh Young is just not in a great way right now. He's 0 for 3 on the day today. Might get an opportunity here in the 9th inning, possibly. He averaged down to 242, OPS down to 668. Just not in a good way. We know when he is in a good way, he can be a 25 homer guy. I mean, that is what he profiles as when he's swinging the bat well. Just not swinging the bat well right now. And look, I'm not trying to take a victory lap here because I don't want to be right, but these slumps from Young, it's kind of a part of the reason why I'm okay if the Rangers move on from him. And I know that might be a knee jerk, maybe a hot take to some of y'all, but it's just stuff like this that makes me feel okay with moving on from him. I'm okay if they keep him, by the way. But if they want to use Josh Young to go get a Shaw from Chicago or to go get a big name to go win it all right now, I'm okay with it. I really am. I think the Rangers can get along without Josh Young. Again, if they keep him, I'll be just fine. Adolis sends a deep one to right field. Park's going to hold it. Seager should be tagging here. Get your butt over there, dude. Yes, sir. I was about to say, if they don't send Corey Seager, come on, man. I'm glad they sent him. Adolis productive out. Can we give some love? Like, give some flowers. Adolis, it's not a base knock. It's not a 3-run bomb, but it's a productive out. And that is something that we have not been able to say a lot when the Rangers have runners on first and second and nobody out. Y'all know I'm right on that one. So anyways, back to Young. I want to see him work it out. Y'all know I love Josh Young. Big fan of Josh Young, but it just worries me. Some of these slumps that he's gone into, he wasn't awesome at times last year, although the company line was kind of, oh no, Corey Seager's going to get caught in a rundown here. Marcus, get your butt to third. Man, dang, couldn't quite get to third. It was probably better that he didn't, honestly. He's in scoring position right now. Corey going on contact. Evan with the ground ball right at the first baseman, unfortunately. Right at the first baseman. We'll see what they do with Young. I can't imagine right now they feel awesome about where he's at, but hopefully he breaks out of the slump. You do have options. If Young continues to play poorly, you got Jock Peterson coming back. I don't think it's out of left field. You put Jock at first base and you put Josh Smith or Ezekiel Duran at third. Zeke Duran up to bat right now. 0 for 2 with the walk. Did score a run earlier on in this one. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion if Young continues to struggle. You throw Josh Smith at third base and then you have Jock Peterson playing first. That's assuming that Berger is going to be down a little longer than the 10 days. Although the report coming out today is that Berger is only going to need the minimum. That's at least what Jake Berger said. He doesn't feel like he's going to be out any longer than the 10-day IL. Look, good eye from Duran here. Takes a strike below the zone. Looks like Chris Martin warming in the pen, so I would assume Hobie Milner's day is done. We'll see what they end up deciding to do as they match up in the 9th inning. 2-1 count to Duran here. Here's the pitch. Duran sends a deep one. Park's going to hold that one. Is it going to get foul? Get foul. Get foul. Probably right at the warning track. I thought it looked decent off the bat. Wasn't sure how hard he hit it. I bet he's tracking that pretty well. 2-2 count. We got twos. Superstitious. 2-2-2, man. Let's see if we can get another run home here. That would be huge. I trust Martin, but I would just love to see an insurance run. Would love to see it. Yeah, Berg, I think he'll be back for sure. I don't think they're going to be doing anything with Berger. Appreciate the comment, by the way, bud. Yeah, I think I know some people are already tired of Berg, and look, they're just not going to ditch him after half a season. He's controllable. It wouldn't be smart to, honestly. Now, if you have a full season of Berger and you're not liking what he's throwing down, then you do maybe consider an off-season trade. I know it sounds stupid, but maybe you do. Zeke Duran serves one into center. Good contact, but it's going to hang up too long. O'Neal Cruz camps, and we are not going to get that insurance run we needed. Duran, really nice at bat from him. He was on it. Like, he was on it. I don't know how hard that was off the bat, but it was a good at bat. I liked what I'm seeing today from Duran for sure. So as we were saying, I just don't think they're going to bail on Berg. I think they are going to give him an opportunity to play a full year. I don't even think they're going to trade him in the offseason. It'd have to get pretty bad. I think Berger is going to be around for a couple of years. Foscue was called up, John, which I did say I thought would be a possibility. I said Krim was probably more likely, but I said I'm not going to be shocked if they give Foscue a shot. The last time Foscue was given a shot, he went 0 for 38 or 39, whatever it was. It was the club record for most ABs in a row without a hit until Jock Peterson came along and made it 0 for 40 or 0 for 41. So, look, I get giving Foscue another shot. He's been hitting well in AAA. I know some people would have liked to have seen Blaine Krim. I think and this is I don't even want to call it a hot take because I don't think it is. I think I'm right on this. I think I'm right on this next point. I think this is Justin Foscue's last rodeo. Like, I really think if he gets an opportunity, if he's just a bench guy, then totally strike what I'm saying right now. But if they give Justin Foscue a legitimate shot with legitimate ABs in this stint up with the Major League club, I really don't see him sticking around if he doesn't make the most of it. Like, if he has a good run, I think there is hope. If he comes up and stinks it up again, I really think his days with the organization are limited. Like, they're either trading or like they did with Davis Wenzel. Y'all remember Wenzel from last year? Wenzel was a first-round pick. I don't bring this up because I like it, but remember, they picked Davis Wenzel over Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson was right there on the table. We took Davis Wenzel instead, unfortunately. Davis Wenzel was straight up DFA. I have a feeling that Justin Foscue is going to either get traded or DFA'd if he gets a legitimate shot this time around and doesn't hack it. Now, what's going for him? Not in older 20s. I think he's about mid-20s at this point, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he's getting into the late 20s. And look, when you're in your late 20s and you're not producing at the major league level, guys do unfortunately get moved on from. So I don't know if Foscue's going to get an opportunity and this time up. If he does, I think it's kind of the last dance for him. If he doesn't perform, I see the club moving on in some way, shape, or form, seeing if another team will take a flyer on him. It's going to be interesting. 1-0 count, by the way. Frazier up to bat right now. Let's lock in on the game here. I may be a little bit off on the comments. Looks like 1-2 count at this point. 1-1 count. My bad. Let me catch up on TikTok. Appreciate all the follows, y'all. Thank you so much. Appreciate the follows. Robbie, yeah, look, I think I will clarify and say one more time. If they decide to keep Young long-term, I'm not going to be upset. I do think if we're talking about blockbuster trades, trying to go get a big name to win now in this 2 or 3 year period, I got no problem with them trying to trade Young. I have zero problem with the Rangers trying to maximize this 2 or 3 year window where you've got Seager, DeGrom, Evo, 3 of the top talents in the game, honestly. I think you've got to make some radical moves. And I do think they are going to shake up the position players one way or another by next season. I think there's going to be a shakeup. I don't know how big it's going to get, but brace yourselves. I really do think they're going to be shaking up the position player lineup. Martin's going to get a strikeout, nice painted pitch, and Frazier swings at it anyways. That would have been a tough pitch to do anything with, even if he had made contact. So we got Martin coming in to close this one and getting that ever important first out. Great pitch. Nice fastball on the outer half. We keep going. Davis up to bat right now. This is Henry Davis, the number 1 overall draft pick a couple of years back. Davis on the year hitting 190. Again, this is a number 1 overall draft pick by the Pirates. So, I mean, look at this. This is definitely tough, right? If you're a Pirates fan, life's tough anyways. At least you get to watch Paul Skeens every 5th day. But, I mean, here's a number 1 pick really, really struggling. It does happen. It does happen. And look, Henry Davis may go on to have a really, really great career. But this is another reason we're talking about trades and stuff like that. This is another reason why I say it's not my prerogative to hoard prospects. There's a deep fly ball. Did he get enough? No, he did not. Evan Carter Catches it right before the wall. It kind of looked like, y'all let me know, it looked like Davis thought he got that one. He kind of stopped and admired it a little bit. Oh, man. Weight room, buddy. Am I right? Go to the weight room, dude. Dude, he totally thought he got that. Y'all back me up. He totally thought he got that when he hit it. 100%. Weight room, bro. Weight room. 2 outs. We got one more to get here. Rangers lead it by a run. Hayes up to bat. Another top prospect in the Pirates organization hitting 227. Look, baseball's a tough game. Going back to what I was saying about prospects, when you've got this short window, DeGrom elite, Evo elite, Seager elite, when you've got this short window with these players that are aging, you've got to make the most of it. And I'm not saying trade Walcott. I'm not on that page. I think the Rangers do have a couple untouchables in the farm system, but if you can get better right now, I would do it. And I think the main reason is prospects just don't always pan out. Sometimes they do. With Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, Strasburg. Shoot, I mean, there's even more recent examples. Juan Soto. Like there are definitely those top prospects that 100% pan out. Paul Skeens talking about the Pirates. Final strike here. Here's the pitch. Martin's not going to get the call. Oh, he does get the call. Oh, that was an ugly strike 3 call, but we're going to take it, Rangers Nation. That was a little delayed strike 3, man. I thought that was ball. And then 2 seconds later, the ump brings him up. Wow. Jeez, we'll take it. We'll take it, man. Not quite as bad as that Joe Nathan Tampa Bay game. Y'all remember that one from the early 2010s? The ball in the dirt that gets called for strike 3. That's tough if you're Hayes, man. That's just really tough. You're trying to work together a decent at bat. You're down to your last strike, and you get called out on a pitch that's about half a foot off the plate. But you know what? We'll take the win. Cue the I Like Texas music. Good to get back in the win column for the second straight day. We'll take it. We'll take it. I've always said, we'll be totally real. Yeah, we got that one given to us. I don't think Brian Hayes probably ends up hitting a bomb there, but you never know. But we're going to take the win. Lord knows we have had our fair share of calls go against us, so we're going to take it. Hello, win column, baby. Hello, win column. Yeah, I don't think that they are going to be trading Wyatt or Evan Carter. I don't think those guys are on the table at all. McJowers, yes, sir. Got the dub. It's all that matters. Look, yeah, sometimes you got to kind of win a little ugly, and I would call beating the Pirates by 1 run winning a little bit ugly, but we're going to take it at this point however we can. However we can. The reality is, for anybody, for any Rangers fan that's kind of trying to poo-poo some of these wins against bad teams, this is what the Rangers had to do. I've been saying it for the past week. You had to just tread water for the next 2 weeks. You don't have Eovaldi. You don't have Malley. You still are missing 2 of the top arms in your rotation, Bradford, Gray. You've now got, Josh Smith dealing with a little bit of a hamstring thing. You've got ailing players in the lineup. Jock Peterson, although the production hasn't been there, Jock Peterson is not in the lineup. You've got all of these injuries kind of stacking up a little bit. Wyatt Langford's a little beat up. You just got to survive. You just have to survive the month of June. Look, it does appear that Evo is going to be back for the home series against the Mariners. I saw a couple of y'all asking about Evo. I think Evo is going to be back for the Mariners series. It does sound like that is a strong possibility. So look, Chase, I'm with you. I'm begging for some insurance runs as well, but I will say this. 100%, you just got to survive June. When you get to July, you're going to get Bradford back. You're going to get Jock back. You're going to get you're going to get John Gray back. You're going to get all these reinforcements coming back. Just survive June. So if you got to win ugly, if you got to win some ugly games against the Pirates, do it. Just win. Just win. That's where I'm at right now. What do I think about Josh Young's struggles? Brady, we kind of talked about Young a little while ago. I know you're coming in fresh, but, I'll say this. It's concerning. Josh Young definitely has dealt with some injuries, and so I don't know if we've really ever seen his max potential. This season, you're kind of getting to, and unfortunately, in the first season where he's really been able to stay healthy for the most part, he's really not making the most of it. I'm okay either way, whatever they want to do with Josh Young. I think right now they're moving him down in the order. They're doing the best they can. I do think if the struggles continue, there is something to be said letting Josh Smith play some third base, and then you've got potential in other places. Like Josh Young does not need to be an everyday player when you've got Josh Smith, a very capable third baseman, sitting right there. So do you start platooning Josh Young a little bit at some point if the struggles continue? I would submit, yeah, you do. I mean, this isn't Osuna, right? This isn't a young, barely ever played Major League Baseball guy that's still developing. I mean, at this point, I think Josh Young played college ball. You've been in the league 3 or 4 years. You got to put up or shut up at some point. And I think that Josh Young is definitely still going to be given ample chances to succeed and turn it around. I don't think they're giving up on him, but I just wonder if he is going to be a little bit expendable, whether that's trades, whether that's just setting the lineup each day. I wonder if he starts losing some playing time, if he does not turn it around sooner rather than later. I think the Rangers have enough flexibility. They could probably bench Josh Young and be okay. You bench Josh Young, now you've got Smith playing third base. You've got Haggerty. I mean, you can DH one of the outfielders. I know you don't want to take Dolly's glove out of right field, but you've got options. At this point, I'd rather Haggerty be in the lineup over Josh Young. I think at this point, you've got to start getting a little radical to get this offense in gear. You're only scoring 3 runs against the Pirates. I know you had a nice day yesterday. You scored 6, right? Probably should have scored 12, but I just think at this point, you got to put feelings aside. Put the hard feelings aside. Josh Young, I get it. He was your starting third baseman when you won the World Series. It's okay if you pivot a little bit off of him being an everyday player if he's going to continue to struggle. Yeah, Chase, I've said this many times. I did not think we would be here with a lot of guys. I didn't think we would be here with a lot of the 2023 guys, but it is possible. It's very possible that some of those guys just had really amazing career years in 2023. It got us a World Series, but they might not ever get back there. This is third year, and the injuries definitely are a thing. Not saying you give up on Josh Young. I do think in the context of this season, though, like if you're really in win now mode, I don't think you can just give Young an endless amount of rope to figure it out. Like at some point, you've got to choose production, just like CY said about Adolis. You remember that interview that CY did on 105.3 The Fan, and he just said production is going to rule. You've got to have the same standard with every player. If you're going to call out Adolis Garcia and say on radio, production rules over pedigree, then you got to do it for Josh Young. If production rules over pedigree, according to CY, how much longer are you going to have Young in the lineup every single day? It's not like Young is doing what Seager's doing. For anybody that's hating on Corey Seager, I get it. The numbers aren't great. The dude literally hits every baseball over 100 miles an hour and just gets unlucky at times. He's one of the unluckiest players in baseball. Josh Young is not hitting the ball 100 plus every time off the bat. Josh Young is getting sawed off. Josh Young is swinging at bad pitches. Josh Young is lacking approach up at the plate, and it's looking a little ugly right now. I can't say that with Seager. Seager isn't up there looking lost at the plate. Seager is up there smashing just about every baseball, and it just so happens to be going directly at fielders, which you can't control all the time. You just can't. So for me, Corey Seager's struggles compared to Josh Young's struggles, very, very different. An ideal trade for the Rangers right now, I think Patrick Corbin is definitely going to be on the trade block. I don't think you're going to see Patrick Corbin survive July with the Rangers. kind of like what they did with Mike Lorenzen, if you remember the Lorenzen trade. Now, I hope they can get a little bit better back than Walter Pennington. Pennington obviously no longer with the organization, but I think that that's probably where it's going to start. And then it's just going to depend on where the Rangers are at. I think you have got to go out and you've got to get a bullpen piece that can really solidify the back end. And then I think you've also got to look at a bat, and more than just adding a, Robbie Grossman type. I love Robbie. Absolutely love Robbie. But you know what I mean. I don't want to see the Rangers just go get this depth guy. No, thank you. Does Young have any options left? That is a good question. McJowers, I'm going to pull that up right now. And TikTok, I'm going to get back to you guys. I know I've been letting y'all run amok here. Hopefully everything's going all right. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the show. I'm going to get back to you real quick. So just hang tight here. Let's see what Josh Young's got going on. So Josh Young, yeah, he has 3 options left. So you could definitely send Josh Young down for a reset if you wanted. Jake Berger, by the way, I looked up Berger, and look, I think that this injury list stint is going to be like his minor league option, basically, right? I think it was probably close. If Jake Berger wasn't going to figure it out healthy, I wouldn't have been shocked if they sent Berger down again. But Josh Young has 3 minor league options left. Is that a possibility? I don't know. I just think something's got to give. Chat, are we back? Look, I'm not going to say anything even remotely close to we're back when we're playing the Pirates and barely beating them by a run. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to be grounded. I think right now, don't get too hyped up. We're playing the Pirates. We are playing the Pirates. So I think I need to see this against Baltimore, and I need to see it against Seattle. If we can have a really solid 8 days here, take care of business tomorrow, sweep the Pirates. Look, even if you don't sweep the Pirates, so be it. Win 2 out of 3. I think you should sweep them. That should be what happens tomorrow. If you win 2 out of 3, not the end of the world. Go win 2 out of 3 in Baltimore. You got Thursday off, and then you come home for a huge series against the Mariners. It's going to be fun. A little disappointed Leote's not going to be a part of that series unless he gets a call up. That kind of would have been cool to have that connection, but big series against the Mariners coming up. So, yeah, look, I'm not going to get overhyped about the Pirates. Totally with you here. We just got swept by the Royals, who 6-game losing streak coming in to that home series against KC. So I'm not going to get over the top excited about the squad. I want to see 8 days of good baseball here. I don't think that's too much to ask. Can you give me 8 days of good baseball? And then at the end of the 8 days, if we win that series against the Mariners, you're going to see me get excited. Absolutely. That's a big series. It's not everything, but you will see me start getting on that page. Maybe we're cooking with something here. But if they lay an egg against Seattle, or if they go to Baltimore and soil the bed, I can't say I'm going to be shocked, but I'm very hopeful that the exact opposite of that happens. We keep going. Series win versus the Mariners would be huge. I mean, that would be absolutely huge. JM, I'm with you. The fastball was good from Rock. The control, right? A lot of it is command with Kumar Rocker. So I know that a lot of people might check the box score. Man, he had a really good outing, and I think it was solid. I don't think it was a bad outing from Kumar Rocker, but I think you see how refinements still need to be made to his game. I think that he has some things that he still needs to clean up, and ideally, I think the Rangers would have him. Ideally, they would have him in AAA, and I would be working every 5th day on little things here and there, getting him more and more better prepared for a major league career of success. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do that, and they're going to be able to go with that plan with the injuries that they have sustained. But I'd imagine that when Bradford and Gray come back, I don't think Rock is probably going to survive that. Maybe they'll call him back up for the roster expansion. I could see that happening. but I don't think Kumar Rocker is going to stick in the rotation over Bradford and John Gray. And maybe there's some of y'all that would like to see him beat out one of those guys. I just don't think it's going to happen. You're paying John Gray too much money. Cody Bradford, lefty, very, very solid last year. I don't think Bradford is going to get the boot over Rocker. We'll see. We'll see. Good game, man. Yeah, the Buccos, they're not having a great year. It's fun watching Paul Skeens every fifth day. I will say that. O'Neal Cruz is fun to watch. He obviously is one of the hardest hitters in the game, but the Pirates are a tough watch. That outfield is bad. Again today, Frazier with the error that scored the first run. Put a 10 on the circus, man. Like, they have got some issues defensively. And credit to the Rangers. They take advantage and win the game, but yeah, it's a tough watch. It's a tough watch. Cooper, that's a great question. I think this is the bigger debate. So, Coop, I'm glad you brought that up. Like, Leiter, I think, is probably going to stick around as the fifth starter. Like, in my mind, here's what they do. You've got, obviously, Evo and DeGrom at the top. I think Malley is eventually going to come back. I do think that Leiter probably sticks. And then I think with Bradford and Gray, I think it's going to be interesting. One of those guys may end up in the pen. I don't think Leiter's going to go back down. I think even if Gray and Bradford beat out Leiter for the top 5 for the starting pitching, I think that they probably keep him up and use him in high leverage spots. I think that is probably going to be what they end up doing with Jack if he is not going solid as a starter. Unless they are just totally committed, 2025, we are going to weather any kind of storm that Jack Leiter runs into. We want to give him a full season of being a starter. I could see that. I could see it. But I do wonder if he continues to have some ups and downs if they give Cody Bradford and John Gray a shot. And just see if those guys can provide a little bit more consistency. Leiter obviously has been really good at certain times this year. He's had some really high-quality starts, but he's had some rough ones. I think they're going to continue to give him chances, but I do think that it's a potential that he moves to the bullpen. I don't think they're going to move him down to AAA. I think the stuff is too electric. They could definitely have use for him in the bullpen, maybe in some high-leverage spots. I'm not saying closer, but you know what? If you need a big out in the 6th inning, in the 7th inning, you might turn to Jack Leiter. If Cody Bradford and John Gray are being very, very consistent producers getting their shot. We'll see what happens. Hey, Gio, what's good, man? Rangers are now 12-13 in one-run games. Rangers can't get to 4 runs. 2 for 17 with runners in scoring position this series. It hasn't been great. It just hasn't been great. That's why I'm telling y'all, pump the brakes a little bit on Rangers are back. It has not been phenomenal with the offense, man. Cal Raleigh just hit his 30th home run. Jeez. Hit his 30th home run today, although Chicago did win. So it's a good day. Mariners lost today. Big Dumper did hit his 30th, but the Mariners take an L. So Rangers are able to gain a game, gain some ground on them. Phenomenal. Now we just got to get that Houston L. Am I right? They play later tonight. I thought the Angels might knock them off last night. The Astros won in extra innings. We also got to keep our eye on that Guardians game. Guardians are in Sacramento right now playing the A's. Yeah, Gio, it has been painful. You look at the box score today, Rangers were 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Not great. Bautista would be solid, Coop. That would be really, really solid. I would love to get that arm in the pen. If Baltimore is selling, I think Bautista is one of the top options for Texas to go out and get. Let me look up Bautista's numbers, by the way, right now. Let me see if I can pull these numbers up for you. I think he was having a pretty good year the last time I checked. 2.70 ERA, 36 strikeouts. He has 15 saves, actually 16 now for the Orioles. I think Bautista is probably going to be pretty well sought after. Coop, the only thing with Bautista, I just wonder, are they going to get into a bidding war with another team for him and overpay? And look, going to my point from earlier, maybe you got to do that a little bit if you want to maximize this 2 or 3 year window. Maybe that's what you got to do. Overpay. But I think that a lot of teams are going to be interested in Bautista. That's probably the only downside, I think, to going out and getting him. Hey, Ultramodern, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. The offense definitely is not impressing me thoroughly. I think you're winning close games over the Pirates, leaving a lot on the table. I'm not super encouraged by what I'm seeing with the offense. Good to see Corey Seager coming around. Had a nice clutch hit today to put the Rangers up 2-1. Or was that? Yeah, it was 2-1 because it was 1-1. Maybe I'm getting that wrong, y'all. I'm going crazy. Let me see here. Let me get this right. Yeah, it was. Go up 2-1, and they would never relinquish that lead. So there's a few guys that I'm feeling pretty good about at this point, but I'm with you. The offense needs to be better. Yeah, the beating of the bad teams ain't going to hold up. Shane, what's good, my guy? Thanks for hanging out. But I will say it's all about surviving June with all these injuries. Can you just survive June? If you get to July and you've got Evo healthy, Bradford healthy, Sporzy healthy, Jock Peterson healthy, if you got all these guys healthy and you're still not doing it, it is what it is. But right now, I think you are in survival mode. If you got to win ugly against Pittsburgh, you got to win ugly against Pittsburgh. Hey, Caroline, you're going to the Elvis retirement? That's awesome. Have a blast. That's going to be a great day. I love Elvis. One of my favorite Rangers. I've got a lot of favorite Rangers, but hard to not think about 2010, 2011, and those World Series teams and not think about Elvis Andrus. 100% still, Blaze still on the trade Garcia train. Maybe keep him this year, but trade him in the offseason. Absolutely. You've got to get value out of him. You cannot let Adolis Garcia walk in free agency for free. You're not going to re-sign a 34-year-old streaky outfielder. You're just not. The Rangers, by the way, they haven't been big spenders in free agency. I'm not saying Adolis is going to be able to get $25 million a year. Adolis has never gone to free agency. I don't think he's going to want to keep doing little one-year deals. Adolis is going to want to go out and get that one last bag and then ride off into the sunset. I mean, he's looking for a 2 or 3 year deal. I'm sure. I don't know if he's going to get it, but I'm sure he wants a 2 or 3 year deal that is going to push him all the way to retirement. I don't think the Rangers are going to give him a 2 or 3 year deal where he's making $15 million a year. So I am still on the trade Dolly train. If you're doing well and winning ball games, do you need to trade him at this deadline? No. But I think you need to trade him by the offseason. You need to trade him before next year. If he's still on the roster in 2026, it's a big risk because if he doesn't have a good year next year in the contract year, you are going to get nothing for him. If he has a good 2025, I think you strongly consider trading him when the value's at its peak. Keep going. Appreciate all y'all hanging. We are going to try and give y'all a wrap up on the game for today and then start looking at the game for tomorrow. We keep going here. Offense needs to click or we have to seek a new way to fix this lineup. Always seems like we can't get more than a couple runs in. It's all about consistency. We just need guys to get hot at the same time and stay on the same page. We just need to get more than 1 or 2 guys hot at the same time. I'm very skeptical still about the offense. You guys know how I roll. I'm always going to try and be hopeful, give y'all the glass half full mentality. That is something that I've always tried to bring to the show, but the offense, I'm still skeptical about. Rangers are now 1.5 games back of the wild card. That's the good stuff. That is the good stuff to focus on. You've got 1.5 games separating you from a playoff spot. Just survive June. Get through June. Get healthy. Have a really strong July heading into the All-Star break. And then after the All-Star break, before the trade deadline, have a great 2-3 weeks before the deadline. It could potentially get really, really interesting. This is going to be a fascinating month for Rangers baseball. It really is. Keep going. Shouldn't the Angels lose to the Astros? Angels are closer to being, or is it because of the cheating thing from the Astros? Not sure exactly what you're asking. Who do I used to dislike the Angels more than the Astros. The Astros, first of all, weren't in the division for a long time, right? They weren't in the division. And so you only had Seattle and you had the A's. And of course, you had the Angels, right? And then Astros joined the division and they were bad for a long time. And in the 2010s, the Angels had some good teams. You think about the Pujols, the Trout, the Hamilton, they had some decent years in there. And so I would say for a long time, I disliked the Angels a lot more than the Astros. The Angels have just been a dumpster fire at this point for the past 10 years, it feels like. And the Astros, meanwhile, have done what they've done. Trash can gate, buzzer gate, winning some World Series, being successful, and obviously becoming a much bigger rival in the process. So I'm going to say go Angels. Definitely. No, grew up in Texas, lived in Texas for a long time. Actually grew up in Arlington, went to Arlington High School, and then moved away after college to Vegas, where I am right now. Been out here for about 15 years. Nate, I'm not going to call them the Road Warriors yet. They got a ways to go, buddy, but I appreciate the sentiment, man. It's great to see you, my guy. Yeah, look, it's good that the Rangers can win some games on the road. You won, obviously, in Minnesota. You won in Washington. You didn't have a great series in Tampa Bay, but 3 road series in a row now you've won. Okay? Yeah, John, if you remember, the Rangers did not come out of the All-Star break awesome last year. They came out really, really struggling last year. And so I hope that the Rangers come out of the All-Star break firing on all cylinders, because they were doing some scuffling, man, going into the trade deadline. It felt very uneven, right? Just felt very uneven last year. The trade deadline, man, I don't know. I actually remember what it was like, that Toronto series. Like, we had the Toronto series, and then the trade deadline was at the end of the Toronto series. And I think last year we got swept in Toronto right before the trade deadline. Y'all remember this? And then we had to get on a flight and go to St. Louis. And, you know, we picked up a couple of guys, and it just felt like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? This team does not look like it's going anywhere special. And they didn't. I kind of appreciate the fiery, competitive spirit of CY, but it's clear he's not going to make that same mistake twice, right? He's not going to invest in a team that is 500 or below 500. So I really think that Texas has got to put together some streaks here leading up to the All-Star break, coming out of the All-Star break. They've got to put together some stretches of wins. Yeah, last year, that Toronto series was a backbreaker. I hate to bring it up, but I don't think Chris Young is going to make that same mistake. I mean, we literally got swept by Toronto right before the trade deadline. We went to St. Louis. The trade deadline happened, I think, on a Monday or a Tuesday when the club was in St. Louis. And I don't think they had a great series in St. Louis either. I think they lost 2 out of 3 or something. So it was just like a lot of losing right around the deadline. We sold Lorenzen, and then we added Chafin and we added Carson Kelly, right? It just didn't have a great feel to it, and I don't think CY is going to do the same thing he did last year. 10-8 in June, not bad, Gio. I love how you always bring the stats to the show, man. You always back me up with the hard, cold facts. I appreciate you, brother. They're not winning the series this year. It's okay, though. We got closure in 23. Hey, I'm not giving up hope yet. You never know what can happen. I mean, I always, and I don't, this is another thing I don't love bringing up, but it is a classic example of why you don't give up on a season. Think about the 2011 Cardinals. 2011 Cardinals that beat our Rangers were dead in the water. They got so lucky they even made it into the playoffs, the Cardinals did. They looked like a sorry team in September. and the Cardinals squeaked into the playoffs. The Braves, you remember the Braves totally choked that year, and the Cardinals just got into the wild card spot. Braves had the wild card spot locked up like forever, and then they had an epic meltdown in 2011, and the Cardinals came in and they made the playoffs, and the rest is history. They go on to win the World Series that year. That's why I don't give up on any of the Rangers teams ever until they're eliminated, because you can get into the playoffs, get hot, go on an epic run like the Rangers did in 23, like the Cardinals did in 11. And there's other examples of that too, of wild card teams going the distance. I just don't give up easily because of that. You just never know what could happen. Mally and Evo back, Sean, would be huge. That would be absolutely huge. Greg, I hope the Rangers add a bat. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I hope they add a bat. Keep going. Ozuna would be awesome. Blaze, the Ozuna noise is getting louder. They came out yesterday with an article on Ozuna, and they were, I think, talking about trading Cole Drake. Now, Cole Drake has been on fire. If you don't pay attention to minor league Rangers baseball, Cole Drake has been on fire this year. I'm a little hesitant to trade Cole Drake for a half-season rental. Maybe that's what it takes, but I almost feel like you got to hold on to Cole Drake at this point with how well he's been pitching. Like, if that's the only guy you can trade to get Ozuna, I don't know if I want to do that deal for a half season, not even a half season of Ozuna, right? You're talking about like 60 games, basically. I don't know about that. That's a tough one, but I would love to get Ozuna if you can trade other pieces beyond Cole Drake and still acquire him. I think you could probably still get it done. Let's see what else. Look, letting go of Carson Kelly, John, this is definitely, I think, a fair point. Like, Carson Kelly was pretty solid for us last year. Letting go of Carson Kelly and signing Higgy instead has to be one of, I don't want to say an all-time fumble, but it feels like a pretty big fumble in recent years by the front office. Carson Kelly's going to probably be in the All-Star game this year. So I think he is not going to be a starter, but he's probably going to make the All-Star team this year. So Carson Kelly, dropping him and going to get Higgy instead, bad move. Bad move. Not a great move by CY. I feel like CY is goated when it comes to the pitching moves. I feel like he has made a lot of questionable offensive decisions. Like, Jock has not worked out, and that can still come around, but Jock has not worked out. You bet on Higgy. You gave him a sizable contract when you had Carson Kelly right under your nose. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I definitely miss having Carson Kelly around the squad. I really liked him. And when you think about the catching struggles this year, just not being able to get solid production out of really either catcher, or let me say this, consistent production. Yeah, Heim will have a nice game here. Higgy, I don't know what he did today. What did he go today? Did he get a hit today? He did get a hit today, 1 for 3. Higgy's hitting under 240, and dude's got a sub 600 OPS. That's not good. It's not good. Yeah, McJowers, I think you're right. He has had some fumbles. I mean, look, the moves last year, the Kelly move was solid. The Chafin move didn't work out. Like, you traded away some, I think, pretty nice guys for Chafin and Kelly as well. There's some guys having success, I believe, on the Tigers this year from the Rangers farm system that we traded away. I just think offensively, there's been some fumbles by CY. Pitching-wise, I think he's done really, really well. It makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it got you a World Series. We're talking about, by the way, for anybody on TikTok, trading Luis Angel Acuna. Trading him to get Scherzer, not the best deal, but at least you won a World Series. That's how I at least justify the Scherzer deal. And I don't know how Acuna is doing this year. McJowers, do you know? I don't know. I think he is. I think he had a really hot start when he got called up. I don't know if he's still killing it now. Let's see. He's not even, looks like he's on the bench for the Mets and he's hitting 248. no homers, 6 RBI. So I wouldn't say Acuna is killing it this year. But yeah, definitely you traded away one of your top prospects to get a guy that really didn't do a whole lot down the stretch. I know he started in some playoff games, so he did contribute. The Reagan's deal, the Chapman for Reagan's deal, that's another one people are going to point to. Yeah, look, I love the idea of Andrew Chafin. I love the idea of Big Country. The results weren't there. They weren't there with Big Country. Yeah, Rangers have been bit by the injury bug for sure. Look, Higgy, for as good of a game planner as he might be, and Jonah Heim, the same thing. As good of a glove as Jonah Heim might have, you've got to be able to find a guy that can do both. Like you can't keep settling for these guys that are one-trick ponies. Well, he's really good on defense, but he's terrible on offense. And that's why I like the Malcolm Moore draft pick. And I hope Malcolm Moore is ready for 2027. I don't think Malcolm's going to be up next year in 26. I think you're probably going to see the club ride it out with Heim. And then in 2027, I think you give Malcolm Moore a shot, unless he is just dog water terrible in the minor leagues. But I want a guy that can do both. We can't keep signing these guys that are great defensively but can't hit worth a lick. All right, TikTok. Moore is hurt right now? Did that just happen, G-Man? Last time I checked, I think it was last week, I thought he was playing. Did he just get hurt? Look, Scherzer had some decent moments. I will always go back to, I'll actually defend some of the trades in 23. You know, the Scherzer trade, also, of course, the Reagan's trade. I'll defend those trades because we won a World Series. You don't win a World Series and you make those trades, yeah, they're not good. They're not good. Daniel, what's good, man? Yes. Texas Rangers win. Great day to be a Rangers fan. Thomas, I'm with you. Trading Acuna, it did feel like a mistake at the time. Again, he's not killing it this year, but he's got a long runway. He's a very young prospect. So I think that one might come back to bite us. It's not looking terrible right now. I got to find out what's going on with Malcolm Moore, man. What is going on with that dude? Let me see if I can look that up while we're live here. I'll get back to you guys in just a second. So to wrap up today, you had Smith 1 for 4, Haggerty 0 for 3, but walked and scored a run. I just like the chaos energy Haggerty brings, just always getting on base, just working good ABs. The Rangers had a lot of good at-bats early on against Keller. Even though it didn't translate to a lot of runs, they made Keller work a lot in this ball game. I just like Haggerty up at the top of the order. Seager 1 for 3. We talked about Siegs, hit the ball hard every time he put it in play today. 100+ exit velocity for every single baseball in play from Corey Seager, including the game-winning RBI, a single past the second baseman that put the Rangers up for good, 2-1. Marcus 0 for 2, had a sac fly that gave the Rangers a 3-1 lead and also walked. So Marcus continuing to do his thing. Adolis goes 0 for 4. Carter 1 for 4. Duran 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Good for Duran. Good for Duran. I really hope he makes the most of this opportunity. And he's another one like Adolis. I hope he shines out because I don't think Ezekiel Duran has any kind of pathway to solid playing time on this team. We have him through 2029. Could be a valuable trade chip. So I'm cheering for Ezekiel Duran. I think you could definitely trade Duran to improve the roster in other places where you need help. So I don't see where Duran is going to fit in down the road. You've got Walcott coming up. You've got other infielders that are doing really well in AAA. I'm just not so sure Duran still has an opportunity to become an everyday player for us. Maybe he's just going to be perpetual bench player until his contract expires in 2029. But I'm hoping he does well, and maybe the Rangers use him to go out and get the club better in win now mode. We talked about Josh Young, 0 for 3 today, still not looking great up at the plate. I just wonder how long Josh Young is going to continue to have a starting spot in this 1 through 9. I think that they're going to have to consider a platoon situation, giving him some time off. letting Josh Smith play third base. Now with Jock Peterson coming back, you definitely could absorb Josh Young not playing. And I don't know if they are in a mode right now where it's, play Josh Young every day or bust. I don't think that's the case. You can't come out and pound the pavement about Adolis on 105.3 if you're Chris Young and say production over pedigree, and then you continue to play Josh Young despite a terrible last month. I think I read y'all the stats on Josh Young probably last night, or maybe it was on Thursday night. Josh Young is hitting 193 over his last 30 games. This isn't like a bad week or a bad 2 weeks. We're talking about a bad month. So for me, I think I found my next real content here. I think I found the topic of my next video. I'm not a Josh Young hater. I'm actually the exact opposite. Y'all see on YouTube the bobblehead in the background. I'm a huge Josh Young fan. Texas guy, San Antonio guy. I love Josh Young. I just don't think, though, you can come out so strongly about Adolis. Production over pedigree. And Josh Young's been terrible for a month, and he's still an everyday player. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Don't take that as Josh Young hate. I'm just trying to be logical here. You're going to come out and put Dolly on blast, Chris Young, on 105.3, and you're going to continue to play other guys that had equally bad stretches. I mean, Josh Young is hitting 125 in his last 15 games. He's hitting 143 in his last 7 games. Again, 193 over his last 30 games. 500 OPS in his last 30 games. I hope, Blaze, I'm with you. I hope that Josh Young gets a fire lit under him. He needs it. Josh Young's got 3 minor league options left. I don't even know if the Rangers are considering it, but with some of the at-bats, again, the Josh Young slump is nothing like the Corey Seager slump. Corey Seager's slump involved elite exit velocity, barrels just happening to be right at people. Josh Young is getting sawed off and is missing badly on certain pitches, and it just doesn't look great right now. So with 3 minor league options, I wonder if it's going to be a possibility if they do the Burger AAA reset for Josh Young. I think it could happen. Leiter, definitely ace potential. I'm with you. Obviously, I think he's still got a couple years before that gets fully realized, but I'm with you there. Malley is on the walk year. I don't know what they're going to do with Malley. I think this Malley injury actually was really poorly timed, because with the Malley injury, the trade value is now in question. I really hope Malley gets back within the next couple of weeks so he can pitch and the Rangers can be in a position with him where, hey, you can keep him and he can ride it out with the Rangers the rest of the year, throw in some really high-quality innings for you. Or if the Rangers don't get it done in the win-loss department, you can deal Malley and you can get a good return for him. Is there a Pudge Rodriguez-like player available? We're talking about the catcher spot. Man, that would be great. Sure would be great, man. Garcia and Simeon are the only players to play more than 65 games this year. Now, the Rangers have definitely dealt with the injury bug 100%. 100%. Can't think of anybody else to get rid of. There's a ton of guys you could get rid of, but it's all contextual. It's all circumstantial. So we've talked about, we have a ton of guys that have less than 2 years of team control left. You've got Hobie Milner. You've got Sean Armstrong. You've got Chris Martin. You've got Luke Jackson. You've got Tyler Malley. You've got John Gray. You've got, obviously, Adolis Garcia, Jonah Heim, Jock Peterson. You've got a ton of guys that you could trade that have limited years of control left with the club. But it all depends on what the win-loss record is and where you're at in the standings. Rangers have a ton of guys that you could trade. And notice how I didn't say DeGrom. I didn't say Evo. You don't need to do a fire sale. You would just need to do kind of what I've been calling a soft sale and then reload in 2026. I think they need to shake up the position player lineup. I think they need to do some moves in those areas, I should say. But you can still come back next year with DeGrom and Evo as your 1-2 punch. Go out and maybe get another high-quality starting pitcher. You're not going to have Malley. You're not going to have Gray. You're still going to have Rocker, Leiter, and Bradford. But I'd love for them to go out and get one other really, really good arm in free agency or through trade. There's a number of different options you could go, man. Really is. Yeah, John Gray, I mean, that guy's making plenty of money. So if you want to go out and clear some space to go get a big name at the deadline, John Gray has got to be like trade candidate number one, because he's making, Tyler Malley and him probably making the most money on your pitching staff that actually is tradable. I mean, Jacob DeGrom, no trade clause. You're not trading DeGrom. You're not trading Evo. But if you traded Malley and Gray, that frees up a ton of space. If you want to go get an Ozuna, if you want to go get a Brendan Donovan, a Nolan Arenado, I'm just throwing out names. Don't crucify me for any of these names that you don't like. We're just throwing names out there. But that is going to be the key at the deadline. Who do you trade that clears out cap space? Because the Rangers don't want to go over the luxury tax. So who do you bring in that is cost effective, or who do you ship out so you can bring in a bigger name player that does make a good salary? Cardinals would have to go in the tank, man. They would have to really nosedive. Right now, they are not in trade mode. I think the Orioles are a team that you definitely could look at for trade pieces, though. Blaze, you like that a little better? Orioles, I think you definitely could go and look at who they have and who might be good fits. I don't know who the Orioles are going to be willing to give up. I'm not so sure they're going to be willing to trade some of the young guys. I think a Bautista you could definitely go get from the bullpen, but if we're talking about a bat, I don't know. Orioles, I think, will be sellers. We could actually solidify that really, really well this upcoming week by sweeping the Orioles in Baltimore. That'd be great. Harris, I don't think we trade Robert Garcia at all. I think any guy that has over 2 years of club control, I don't think we're trading. And Garcia still has 2+ years of club control. I'm really only locking in on the guys that have a year and a half or less. Either their contract expires at the end of this season or next season. Robert Garcia still has, I think, some arbitration years left ahead of him for sure. Maybe O'Hearn. That could be an option. Orioles got some pieces. I do think the Orioles are going to be sellers at the deadline. I mean, look, you look at the standings right now, and I think there are some sellers that are starting to shape up. You got Baltimore. You obviously have Chicago. And then I think you have the A's. I don't think any other team in the American League has shown themselves to be a true seller yet. You've got Orioles, White Sox, and the A's. So we'll see. There's probably going to be some more teams in the mix eventually. In the National League, you've got the Marlins, you've got the Nationals, potentially the Braves. There's a lot more teams in the NL, which actually works out well because if it's me, I don't want to trade to the American League if I can help it. The last thing I want to do is trade Tyler Malley to an AL contender. The last thing I want to do is trade John Gray to an AL contender. Send these guys to the NL. If you're going to trade Dolly, trade him to the NL. I would be much more inclined to trade these guys to the National League. So again, Braves, Nats, Marlins. I think that the Pirates are going to definitely be selling. Reds, I think, are on the borderline, but they're technically still in the race. And then you've got the Rockies. So it's Rockies, Pirates, Marlins, Nats, Braves. So there's about 8 clear sellers right now. 8 clear sellers. We'll see what they decide to do. It's going to be interesting. By the way, to close out the box score for today, Bullpen did a fantastic job. Like, can we show them some love today? Armstrong was great. Armstrong, to me, is a guy I'd consider in the 9th inning. And look, you don't hear me talk about things like this often. You don't hear me say I love this guy in the 9th inning a lot. But I'm at the point where I could probably stomach Sean Armstrong in the 9th inning. The 3.27 ERA, the average against is elite. I mean, right now, opponents, the batting average against for Sean Armstrong is at 158. That is the lowest batting average against in his career. And he's been pitching since 2015. He came in the league with the Indians, had a 179 batting average against in his rookie season, had a 170 batting average against when he pitched for Baltimore in 2020 in the COVID year. And then you've got this year, 158 batting average against for Sean Armstrong. He's actually a guy I could probably stomach in the ninth inning if they wanted to go that route. Chris Martin's pitched too many days, whatever the case is. Hobie Milner, you know how I feel about Hobie. Hobie Milner, the GOAT. 10 holds on the year, inning and 2/3, goes multi-inning, gets 5 outs, no hits, no walks, 2 Ks. Hobie Milner should be an all-star this year. He really should. There's no reason Hobie shouldn't be at the all-star game with the year he's having. And then Chris Martin. If he had actually pitched more this year, he'd be another guy. 148 ERA, 2 strikeouts, no base runners. The Pirates had 8 base runners all game long. The bullpen did not allow a runner to reach base. That's how good this bullpen was today. Love it. Hey, JJ, what's good, man? What's good? Good to see you. Another road series win. I love it. Hey, would not be a show without the Cal Raleigh comp. Yeah, Kirby Yates was awesome. He has regressed a little bit this year, but Kirby's awesome, man. Jared Sandler said, holy shift. I got to really emphasize that F, shift. When was that? Who was up? Blaze, who was up when he said that? Or did he actually say that he said the real thing? He said the real thing? I'm going to have to look that up on X. Blaze, can you find that and DM it to me? Somebody's got to put that up on social media. You got to find that and DM it to me, brother. I'll try and find it when I get off the show. If you can find it and you can DM that to me, I would love that. Hey, it happens. I'm shocked I haven't had a bad moment like that on air yet. I better knock on wood. Y'all know I try and keep it PG. I really do. You know, I obviously with some of the things the Rangers do, I definitely want to let it rip sometimes, but I really do try and keep this show PG as much as I possibly can. I did see that, Mick Jowers, if you're still hanging out, buddy. Yeah, Bruce Bochy has a lot of respect around the league. In an anonymous poll, Bruce Bochy was the #1 ranked manager from opposing players. Hey, if you didn't play for your current manager, who would you want to play for? Bruce Bochy got the majority of the votes. I still say this, Boch, definitely if it was any other manager, the seat would be a lot hotter right now. But 4 championships, 2 with, 1 each with a different team. And then obviously 3 with the Giants. And then he also took the Padres to the World Series too against the Yankees in the late 90s. Like Bruce Bochy's a legend. So yes, he's earned it. Definitely feel like he has escaped some heat that a lot of other managers wouldn't have, but it's because he's Bruce Bochy. I wasn't shocked by that. I think it was definitely an interesting poll, great poll. Glad you brought it up, but yeah, not shocked by that at all. Oh, Gio, appreciate that. Armstrong did hit somebody. So almost no base runners today. Almost no base runners today. Gio, you're my guy, man. I appreciate you so much. You're always bringing the true serum with you to the show, the cold hard facts, the numbers, and they never lie. So yes, bullpen did allow 1 base runner today. All right, let's keep going. Boch is definitely the top of the mountain of coaches. Matt Hicks' reaction was okay. Boch definitely does have the every other year thing. I don't know if it's going to happen this year. Maybe. That'd be awesome. PNC Park definitely on the bucket list for me as well. Definitely on the bucket list. Hey, real quick, special shout out to all my paid subscribers and paid members on YouTube. Really appreciate you guys. We are going to wrap up the show here in just a bit. We're going to preview the game for tomorrow, but definitely want to thank those guys for the support. We have a blast in the Right on Rangers Discord that we've been having going for about a month now. And basically, in a nutshell, y'all, just as a small way, if you want to show a little extra support to the channel, I've opened up a $2.99 subscription. Gets you access to our exclusive Ride on Rangers Discord, which is well worth the price of admission. We have a great time in the chat during games, post-game, pre-game. It's kind of a 24/7 thing, really. But if you want to support the show in a little bit of an extra way, consider subscribing. You just hit that sub button right next to the chat. If you're at TikTok, if you're on YouTube, go ahead, copy and paste that link into a browser of your choice. Please know, by the way, I'm super grateful for all the support that I get from y'all. Whether you subscribe or not, I'm grateful for the watch time. I'm grateful for the likes, the shares, the comments, the follows. Definitely not taking that for granted at all. And a ton of what we do here at the show is always going to be free. But if you want to take your support to the next level, you want to get a couple of extra little perks here and there thrown in, the Discord, priority replies and lives and comments, please consider subscribing. Again, subscription button right next to the chat and TikTok. Copy and paste that link to a browser of your choice if you're in YouTube or in X, and then we'll get you squared away. It'll be great. We definitely have been gaining some momentum. We've got about 1,000 followers new coming in every month. That's what we've averaged really in 2025. And it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you again. And thank you for all the support and for all my subscribers, paid members. It means a lot. Helps keep the lights on around here. I want this to be a full-time job one day. Keep growing this channel into a legitimate voice in Rangers baseball. And all y'all are a big part of that. So thank you. All right, we'll keep going. Appreciate the follow, by the way. Thank you so much. Now, tomorrow's game, and then we wrap things up. So the Rangers play a 10:25 game tomorrow, my time, like a 10:30 game. Is that what we're doing? Oh, my goodness. Little brunch game for me, I guess. Yep, 10:35, 12:35 for all y'all in Texas. Leiter has not faced any Pirate, so this is going to be short from the Rangers side. Leiter has not faced any of the Pirates. The Rangers, on the other hand, have faced Falter, who is the left-handed starting pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He has a 5-3 record with a 3.49 ERA. Duran 1-for-2 against him. Doley 0-for-2 against Falter, the starting pitcher for tomorrow's game for Pittsburgh. Heim 0-for-2. Josh Young 1-for-2 with the homer. Maybe it's Josh Young's day to get hot tomorrow. Seager 2-for-3. Simeon 2-for-3 as well. All right, here we go. Falter, let's see how he's been doing in his last couple of games. So Bailey Falter in his last 7, 2.45 ERA. So he's been pretty good. He got hit around a little bit by Detroit last time out. 5 innings, 3 earned runs. 6 total base runners. Had a great start against Miami. We'll take that with a grain of salt. Got lit up against Philadelphia. 3 2/3, 4 earned runs. That was on June 6th. So 8 earned runs in the past 13, 14 innings. We'll see. So look pretty solid, but hopefully the Rangers will be able to get to him early. We'll see the left-handed lineup, so I'm sure Haggerty will be up at the top. Maybe Wyatt Langford returns tomorrow, hitting second. So we'll see if the lefty lineup can get the job done and complete the series sweep. Oh, Blaze, 100%. We get a bunch of slip-ups. There was a pretty bad one. Was it in the Tigers game that I saw? They were talking about the pride flag. You know, obviously a lot of baseball teams are, supporting Pride Month, June here. And I think there was a slip up on the word flag to the slur related to the LGBTQ community. That's all I'm going to say. Got to keep it PG, but it was a pretty bad slip up. And it was followed by 30 seconds of awkward silence. Yikes. I'm thankful I haven't had a really bad slip up. I don't think I've had anything happen like that. Even like a weird misspeak. I don't know. Maybe somebody has got something on me that they are waiting to throw out for when I get really big. And that's all thanks to y'all, by the way. But I don't think so. I can't remember anything. It might be on X. Yeah. It was either like Tigers. I want to say it was the Tigers. Look up like pride flag, and I think it'll pop up. Kudos, Texas Rangers. JJ, I see what you did there. I'm going to try and stay totally apolitical here on the show. I like this to be an escape myself from all the crazy stuff going on in the world today, man. But yeah, go Texas Rangers, 100%. I can get with you on that. It was the Cardinals? Oh, man. There you go. There you go. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. It has been a great Saturday. Always good when the Rangers get a dub. And look, going back to the scoreboard for today, Houston plays at 8:38 tonight, Texas time. They're playing the Angels, so hopefully we can get an Angels win. Mariners lost 10-7 today, so the Rangers will gain a game on them. And then the Guardians and the A's play tonight at 9:05 Texas time. So you might have to wake up in the morning tomorrow to figure out what that score was, but hopefully we can get some L's. Go A's, go Angels tonight. And hopefully the Rangers will gain yet another game of ground in the division and in the playoff race. That's the plan. That is the plan. Well, have a great rest of the Saturday night. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Might not be able to go live during the game, but we'll definitely be live post-game. We'll see. I might make it for the 8th or 9th inning to hang out with y'all, but I'll definitely be live post-game tomorrow. Maybe throw out a video as well tomorrow morning. I think the topic will probably be Josh Young. We'll see how Rangers Nation feels about Josh Young. That, I think, is going to be what I'll do for my next reel. Thank you for the support, everybody. Appreciate you guys. Have a great Saturday. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.